You only see Maokai as a tank because when you play against one, they go tank, but support Maokai is not a tank. The question is, why does it work? That's the question. Wait, why did these guys spawn after? Hold on a second, they spawn these 5 and then these 5? I never knew that. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. No. I mean, okay, I do want that.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay. Follow. Alright, so it looks like you are... I can see you are a philosopher of my style of strategy, starting colon going in this brush. I like it. There we go. Alrighty. And you're warding for the team. Look at you. I normally don't do that because I tend to be very aggressive in lane when I start, so I need the vision to make sure the enemy jungler doesn't just come and rock my ass at level 2. Has a champion ever had a 60% win rate? There have been several champions. In this preseason, we've seen more than one. I don't remember who they were, though. At one point, Anivia actually had a greater than 60% win rate. I do know that. And there are also some one-trick champs that definitely got over 60. Champs that have just a very small population of players. Start W and you do the shot. Alright, this is the way I do it as well. But yeah, I mean, because you used that ward earlier, you're not going to be able to have vision now. However, until you see this go down, you know that there probably isn't a gank coming. So it is a trade-off. Thing is, this ward will die soon. And if this ward dies before they take it, you're not going to have the knowledge of what's happening. Also, Urgot versus... I actually really... I find this lane good until he hits 6. Pre-6, it's fun. Once you hit 9, it's still good. But from 6 till 9, and in fact, any moment post-level 6, if their jungler shows up, it's trouble. You want to know the start of the jungle, that's why you do that. That's good. I mean, there's good reasons to do it. There's absolutely good reasons to go for that ward. And I think it's a much more selfless thing than a selfish thing. I ward here because I'm selfish. What you're doing is a very selfless thing. You've missed a lot of CS. So I can already say this right now. Something that will help your game immensely is working on that last hitting. I mean, I'm no beacon for perfect farming either, but like I've seen several moments where a little like a delay in an auto, like right there. Like had you shot the Q first, then autoed, you would have gotten that minion. And here you want to make sure it pushes all the way into the turret. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. I'm not sure if backing right now is the right idea, but it's not a bad moment. With the amount of mana and health you have, I would not back. Because you are going to miss more farm. You are going to miss some farming experience. Luckily, he's pushing, so you will arrive and not fall behind much. But yeah, like already you've missed out on 2 melees. Also, while I'm waiting for you to come back. Yeah, so you made it back in time without missing much. You missed several melees. That's not terrible. Honestly, I mean, I don't think I would have backed under those circumstances, but I don't think it was a bad back. Yeah, you missed the cannon, missed the melee. That's something I do also because sometimes I rely too much on my W. Right there, that's what happened. You're relying on your W. In instances like this, you kind of want to try to be moving around so that your shotgun will hit roughly when it needs to get the kill. Also, you really should have gone for the longsword, because it would have allowed you to last hit minions more easily. With a longsword and Cull, the turret fires once on the ranged minions, you just need one auto attack to kill them. Because otherwise, with just Cull, you cannot last hit ranged minions that way. Yeah, that's not going to work. Aramis came at a poor moment. Still, it's nice he ganked. He sacrificed a lot of health to force the Malphite to back and miss some farm under the turret, so that's actually nice. It's nice of him to do that. Whoa. God, the replay system is so good, huh? You knew someone who just came back to the game and requested their account to be deleted after on the same day. Good for them. I mean, honestly, here's something really stupid to me. Okay, so first, I got to be paying attention. You wandered over. I mean, you didn't miss much. That was I like seeing roams like that. I don't do it enough myself. Something I want to mention. This past month, I rage quit twice. I have never, in my entire League of Legends career, rage quit up until this last month. I was sort of hoping that Riot would ban my account, but you want to know the depressing thing? I didn't even get a warning. I rage quit twice, and I didn't even get a warning. Oh, that was a mistake. That auto attack you just did was a mistake, but he's dead. Is he dead? No, he's not. Oh, why are you not R'ing away? What? I see. That was actually smart. That was actually smart. My mistake. Holy shit. That was a next level play from the Malphite. He risked his life by using the flash instead of the ult. But that almost gave him an opportunity to get a kill. That was really good reaction on your flash, by the way. I don't think I would have. Taunt him, taunt him. All that sustain. That's fun. Man, you're getting a lot of help from this Rammus. That's nice. The ganks aren't working out. Like, Rammus right now is not a good champ, so I understand if the ganks aren't working out. This probably would have worked out if it were a Kane or a Hecarim or a Graves. Let's see what you're going for. Okay. Oh, that's right. They have a Hecarim. A Hecarim with 2 assists already. Oh, it's nice not to need to actually focus on micromanaging my character and actually getting to focus on the game and the chat. I don't think there's a way to rage quit and know for sure that you meant it, unless, of course, you run it down mid, but that's different. Still, I can tell you this. I had a power outage a few years ago when I was playing League, and I couldn't reconnect into the game before the power came back, and I got a warning. I rage quit twice this past month, and I didn't get a warning. I didn't get any. And one of the games ended 2 minutes after I rage quit. The other game ended about 10 minutes after I rage quit, though. Yeah, that's fun. Such counterplay, much wow. I don't know what I would do under your circumstances. That's the frustrating part when it comes to Malphite. Is when their jungler shows up, they press R, and if you're not some champion with crazy mobility, you're dead. That's what happened here. That was a dangerous teleport, by the way. They could have just stuck around and killed the turret. If they did, you would have died, probably. It's actually... That was a mistake on their part. They should have killed the turret. Look at its health. That's 330 health. That's 3 auto attacks from each of them. They definitely could have taken the turret, and after killing the turret, killed you again. In your shoes, I would not have teleported. It was a mistake on their part not to kill you. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. This is brutal, man. This is brutal. In this case, you were trying to do the right thing by helping your teammate, but the right thing in this case would have been not to go and help him because the numbers weren't in your favor. You knew that the Malphite was in the area. You knew that the Hecarim was likely still in the area. And your mid lane didn't rotate. So you should have just left him to die. Damn. I hate being in that situation where doing the right thing is literally leave your teammate to die. This was one of those situations where the right thing, leave your teammate to die. Feel bad for this Rammus. Rammus is fair, close to fair. Rammus is close to fair. Because he's a champion with a clear identity. He's a close range, anti-AD carry. Like, that's his purpose. His purpose is to get close and fuck over any AD carry stupid enough to auto him. And, of course, force them to auto. He has a very, very specific identity and very limited carry potential, which I think is a good thing. I think Rammus is probably one of the... I'd say he's one of the better designed champions, but like the thing that makes him him is his W. And Riot, for some reason, made it slow him. Not only that, but the uptime on his W is 50%. Which means that all you need to do is wait it out. And once it's down, Rammus is effectively not a champion. Like, there's several things... Oh, God, you're missing a lot of farm here. Yeah, I definitely think, like, one of the things you really need to work on is that last hitting. Because you're not even competing with the Maokai at this point. You've got long swords. You've got physical damage. Last hitting should be much easier at this point. Is Rammus point and click though? Yes, he is. Thing is, he's got such strict limitations that even though he's a point and click champion, there's still counterplay. That's something else to keep in mind. Like, counterplay isn't only skill shots. In Rammus's case, like, you can hide behind minions in order to block a point and click ability. Yes, that's all you can. You can hide behind minions to block. Oh, you're dead. Yeah, you're dead. Yeah, once Rammus gets ahead, excuse me, once Malphite gets ahead like this, you can't actually win. I mean, he's already got a mythic item and you don't. It's not fair. It's just not fair. See, look at Malphite, for instance. His identity is an engaged tank, but once he gets ahead, he can just casually kill people. Kill people that are supposed to be carries. Kill people that are supposed to be counters. Because I can tell you this, like, Urgot should be a soft counter to tanks because of his percent max life physical damage. But it didn't really feel that way. If this were like Rammus, in this case, the Rammus would not be able to kill him. You would either be able to choose to walk away or kill him. Even if the Rammus at the time had an advantage over you. At this point, there's a significant advantage. How do I say gold? There we go. Yeah, he's got a 1,500 gold lead right now. Oh, that's a... No, it's not a kill. I mean, there it is. No! Oh, there it is! Nice. And that's a shutdown? Not a shutdown. Tristan is weak. No, I don't have a problem with all point and click champions. It's just that skill shots are one of the most direct forms of counterplay that exists in the game, but there are other forms. Hiding behind minions, like Graves, actually has counterplay because you can hide behind minions and prevent the damage he does. It's not great counterplay, but it's counterplay. And he has 2 skill shots that you could potentially react and dodge. I don't like Graves, but it's not because I don't think he lacks counterplay, but because it's too easy for him to farm in the jungle and carry. That's my problem. But I think that Graves is a champion that has a mechanic in him that has good counterplay, and that's the fact that his autos can be blocked by minions and creeps. It actually creates some very interesting counterplay. Oh, this is bad. Might be able to... Now you're... Ugh. Brutal. Just brutal. I mean, the Hecarim's fed. Again, mythic, no mythic. And his mythic's a healing mythic. Another item I'd love to see deleted. Really, I want this item gone. Right now, it looks like your bot lane's the only lane that's really doing well. Your mid lane's actually doing okay. It's this Hecarim, although the Ram is actually caught up a bit. The Tristana is AFK splitting. Wow. This Tristana doesn't want to win. A feeding Tristana should not be AFK splitting. I would actually report her for inting.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And something else to keep in mind, skill shots aren't always don't always have counterplay. Like another great example of that, oh wait, I should be watching you. Which, by the way, I love the fact that you are working with your team right now and roaming and warding. This is great. You should, this is the mid game, this is when you should be trying to join your team as much as possible. So a great example of skill shots that don't have counterplay, Aurelia R. It's a skill shot in name only because she can dash next to you before firing. Not really a skill shot. Or more specifically, it is a skill shot, it's just not a skill shot with counter. Ooh, that was a good Sen ult. That ultimate was a bit iffy. Again, I'm not going to criticize. I've done worse ults. In fact, we saw one last game where apparently I ulted before teleporting. That was not good. I'm also not going to criticize your build because up until like literally yesterday, I did this build too. And I don't know if it's good or bad because it's impossible to tell. Because I've had great games going for this start, and I've had terrible games going for this start. It's so hard to tell whether it's good or not. I like how the Senate healed you. That's nice. Wow, the Malphite's just alone. See, like right here, it would have been real nice if you had your ultimate. Damn. Your team's just gonna get slaughtered. Ugh. No, don't taunt him. Don't taunt him. No, Rammus. Oh. See, look at this poor champ. Look at this poor fucking champ. What the fuck could the Rammus do there? I feel bad for him. What season did go downhill? 7. 7 was what... Up until Season 7, my philosophy when it came to Riot game design, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Season 7 was the first season where it was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And that was true for Season 7, Season 8, and Season 9. Season 10 was no steps forward, 3 or 4 steps back. And this coming season looks like it's going to be even worse. I mean, I was always frustrated with Riot because, again, they always made mistakes in their designs. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. If only they just did the forward steps, this game would be in such a wonderful state. Why did that go try to go back in? Also, I should be watching. Finish it. Finish it. Nice. Very good. It's unfortunate your AD carry died. God, just look at these depressing scores. It's at all the YOLOs. I genuinely... Oh, nice! Ooh, that was slick! Using the E flash like that. It's too bad it didn't work out, but that was slick. Unfortunately, it just didn't quite have the damage. That was really slick. Imagine League in 3 years. Look, if I end up quitting this year, I'm not going to have to imagine. I'm never going to think about this game again. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm still going to think about this game because even if I quit League of Legends, I'll still watch the pro scene because... And this has been true, in my opinion, for these last few years. League may have been going downhill as far as a player perspective goes, but from a viewer perspective, the game has gotten a lot better. It's much more exciting. The volatility that I get frustrated with in games is very fun to watch. Especially at the highest levels because you see players doing shit that you can't do yourself. It's a spectacle. Nice dodging of skill shots. It's good. You've got good control when it comes to juking those skill shots. She's gone. Ooh, that ultimate was a bit off. When aiming a skill shot like that, this should go with... I'm sure you know this already, but when aiming a skill shot like this, pick the direction you think they're going to go and fire it out. You fired in a way where she dodges it by going left to escape or going right to escape. The only way she doesn't dodge is if she literally keeps walking in this direction, which is very unlikely. You needed to pick a direction. You needed to pick either this direction or this direction. And it was a guess because she could have gone either way. But you should pick alleys to fire it down. In this case, I think it was a little bit of impatience on your part that led to the miss. Sometimes you really need to just take a breath, line your shot, and slowly squeeze the trigger. Remember, don't pull the trigger, you squeeze the trigger. Right? If you ever go to a gun range, it's useful advice. Hold your breath before firing, squeeze the trigger. What should you look to do now? I mean, honestly, I think you're doing it. You're grouping with your team and you're looking for moments to make plays. And I think that's what you should be doing at this point in time. Especially now that you've got Turbo Chem Tank, that's what you should be doing. You should be grouping with your team. Like right now, you should shove this and then join your team. Also pay attention to the objectives on the map. Right now, there's no objective here, so you have no reason to be up here. There's also no turrets here. So all you want to do is shove this out and join your team. Or clear out the jungle, that's fine too. I mean, one nice part about having a Rammus jungle is that they don't need their jungle. Rammus is a champion that is pretty much just as effective with low cash as with a high cash. In this case, I don't think you should be going for the red buff. You should be trying to help your team. Oh no. Oh no! Disaster. Oh, that's so unlucky. The CC from the Rammus made her stop in her tracks, so your Q missed. And her stopping in her tracks meant that your W fired the blasting cone instead of her because the clone was closer. Tragedy. If the Rammus did not land that CC, I'm pretty sure you would have killed her. Wow, that's unlucky. Wow, that's unlucky. League in 3 years. Every champ now has 3 dashes, camo, and execute. There it is. Who's going to ult? Her. He doesn't even need to. He's going to kill her. Oh! Nice, he saved it. Good ult. That was a really bad flash. The flash happened after the Malphite was on his way to your stomach. That was a good ult. That was a very good ult. You lined up your shot, you executed. Very good. And your positioning right now is really good. You're intimidating them at the same time not getting hit by anything. It's just, for me, it's frustrating to see your allies basically doing nothing. Like, I understand the Misfortune. She's low on health. I don't understand the Senna. The Senna was at full health, and she's standing behind the turret while you're in front, absorbing enemy aggro. And now the turret's gone because they didn't defend it. So everyone dies. I gotta say, your allies are making me feel rather sad. I think you did everything right there. The only difference is, like, the only thing that could have been different is once it was obvious your allies weren't helping and you were chunked low, you should have just left. Because at that point, there was no way to defend that turret. I feel that most of Tomer's viewers are bots. Something to keep in mind. Not everybody who watches the stream participates in chat. I can tell you this, I never participate in chat. I am a voyeur, I just watch. Which seems a little weird because I talk with my chat all the time, but when I'm watching streams, I don't ever type in the chat. So that's not necessarily true. I'm one of those people that just watches and never chats. So, something I didn't mention is that we should be looking at these team comps to see the win conditions. On your team, your win conditions are literally Ahri and Misfortune. And unfortunately, they're doing really poorly. But it does give you like a direction for how you should be doing fighting, which should be basically frontlining for the Misfortune. Because the Misfortune's the vulnerable person on your team. She needs the most protection. But, after seeing what the Misfortune did earlier, I'm not sure she's worth it. This is one of those games where you really can't rely on your allies to carry, so unfortunately you need to look for plays. Oh, there's a nice ult. Nice. Oh, you're hungry. Yep, the jump reset. Putting a reset on mobility is just insane. Santa, you don't want these? Oh! God, that's disgusting. Yeah. Well? Wait, what? Oh, she ulted. Oh my god, that Misfortune damage. She was like 100 damage off from killing the Tristana. By the way, Collector's another item I want gone. Collector's probably going to be the most bought item by the pros. That ult was excessive, but I approve. He was going to die anyways, and you are not going to die. That ult was definitely excessive, but, again, considering how poorly your teammates are doing, you got to get the kills yourself to try to carry. And again, not going to comment on the build, because this was a build I've done before. I can't really give commentary on builds I've done before, because it seems self-serving. Wanted the shutdown to do something, so yeah. Look, I agree. I think that you... There's a kill. Nice. You are making good plays here. This is exactly what you should be doing. This is exactly what you should be doing. Oh? Just imagine if you had Collector, she would have died. I'm kidding. It doesn't work that way. But yeah, Collector is, oddly enough, like as far as I've seen, from 80 carries, it is the most common second item to build. Because it's ridiculous. Yeah, you're not going to be able to save her. She needs to save herself. You need to focus on the targets that you can. What the fuck did that Tristana just do? The Tristana just saved you. I have a feeling that you would have died if the Tristana had actually tried to kill you instead of save you. I don't know why she ulted you over the wall like that. That was really dumb. Oh my god, that shield. Oh my god, that shield! What the fuck does he have, Sterix? This poor Rammus just can't do anything. Poor Rammus just can't do anything. Usually don't go Deadmans and Chem Tank. I know. Like I said, I can't criticize it because I have done this build, and I like this build. It's only recently that I've been just basically following what the game recommends. And I can't tell if it's better or worse. I really can't. Urgot needs to get more damage. It's really not a bad idea. Honestly, considering how poor your team is doing, I agree. This is a game where I would say you need to get at least one more damage item to try and make up for how weak your team is. And this is one of those times where 100% the item I would suggest is Chem Punk Chainsword. Because in 100% of games you play, there's going to be somebody on the enemy team that heals way too much life. 100% of games. In this game, Hecarim, his W, his Death's Dance, and his Divine Sunder provide a lot of healing. And the Tristan has a Bloodthirst. Oh, whoa. What just knocked them back? Also, this is just, wow, the Malphite ultimate is terrible. I just want to quickly point out that you should never fire your ultimate at a target that has Sterix Gauge. Just to emphasize why, let me point this out. Upon taking damage that would reduce your health below 30%, gain 200 plus 252 per stack of Bloodlust Shield for 5 seconds. 30%. Your ult executes at 25%, so it almost never makes sense to fire ultimate at a Sterix Gauge target. Because they will get 1,000 shield on top of it. And then you won't be able to kill them anyways. Because you fired your ultimate at the Hecarim, and there was no way you were going to be able to kill him. Now without help from your allies, and you can't expect your allies to do much in a chaotic fight like this. That is a bit of a heads-up thing, though. It's something I know I've done before. You need to be paying attention. Too bad Sterix doesn't work at 25%, because if it did, it would be nice. Oh my god, he's dead. Wow. This is a clown fest right here. They are clowning it. Your team's clowning it, but so are they. You need to leave. You really need to leave. You're dead. Flash saved you. Oh! Nice! Wow! My mistake. You were doing the right thing, but in all honesty, you did the wrong thing. They just fucked up massively. That was them into. Under normal circumstances, all that would have happened is you burned your flash. That's what should have happened. What should have happened is when you eat forward, you'd be forced to burn your flash to live. That's what should have happened. The fact that the Ahri landed the charm, and then you got the execute with the 2-man fear, meant that your mistake ended up amazing. What is this Rammus doing? He's dead. What's this fucking Rammus doing? So close, yet not enough. What are these two doing? What are they doing? Ah! God, watching this is so painful! Just leave the Rammus to die! The Rammus did something incredibly stupid. Just let him die! That's a 512 Rammus. Why are you following him, Senna? Oh, man! Just let him die! Oh, God! Oh, it's so painful to watch. The Rammus was very close to getting the kill. The Hecarim stopped. But it was really dumb for him to look for it anyways when two allies have already backed. It's just such a greedy, stupid thing to do. Your team just got an inhibitor turret, a whole bunch of kills. Why? Why do this? It was a good charm from the Ahri, but... that Wombo, man, that fucking... oh! The Misfortune ult did a lot of damage. He's screwed. The clowning is happening on both teams. This is crazy. Honestly, you guys should be getting destroyed right now. The difference is massive. I mean, look at the gold difference right here. Wait, you guys are only behind 4K gold? What? They have a 15 kill lead, and you guys are only behind 4K gold. I am shocked. They have a 15 kill and 2 turret lead. What the fuck? And the Rammus is behind 100 farm. Also, I like that you're splitting right now. Because your team was definitely getting that inhibitor after that clown fest. You were working on a macro perspective, it's great. But yeah, you should leave now. Oh, God. Oh, no. You are connected on the Hecarim. Why wasn't Ahri with the team? Ahri, what are you doing? That definitely would have been, at the very least, the Chiana dying too. Man, when you have unreliable allies like this, the game can be really frustrating. You set that MF play up. Very nice. This game looks more fun than regular games. It's lasting a long time. You guys actually have a hope. The clowning is happening on both sides too, so like as far as games go, I would much prefer games like this than the majority of the games I have in ranked. This looks so much more fun. Because it doesn't look over. It hasn't looked like... And there were points where the game looked over and then they just clowned it up and you guys got a big swing back. This is a back and forth game where fists are flying and nobody's blocking. It's like watching two drunk boxers go at it. Every so often, one of them falls down, but they get back up and keep fighting. It wasn't that they fell down from the punch. They slipped on a banana peel that they threw on the ground because they were drunk. They can start by removing plates, I agree. Teleport. So right now, like, one thing I could definitely say, you should be focusing on split pushing because you have teleport and Malphite can't match you. I don't like that you teleported here. I think this is a mistake. Fucking shield. Look at that fucking shield. You still got the other side. Very nice. And you flashed in for the fear. I like that. I don't run flash myself, so I never get to do that. But that fear could have been quite instrumental. Oh, she's screwed now. Oh, very nice. She's dead now. You are more than making up for the poor early game that you had. It's sad looking at the scores, though. Like, you're 10, 11, 15. The only person that's even close is the Misfortune. Thank goodness it's her. She is one of your team's 2 win conditions. So thank goodness she's actually doing something. But, like, right here, what happened was so dumb on the enemy team's part. The Hecarim was forward. Alone. There was nobody there to help him. Incredibly stupid. But yeah, I don't like the teleport that you did here because it was preempted. You should have done a reactive teleport. You should have gone towards bot lane and teleported, or you should have just gone towards the Baron and fought. If it was required that you teleported, then it should have been at that moment. Because now you don't have teleport. Splitting is a really bad idea. You could easily get picked. You don't have any vision at all, and all it takes is 2 people from the enemy team to kill you. Pretty much any 2 people on their team. They're all fed. They're all fed. Okay, maybe the Malphite... Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, you are... Now you're dead. You're not dead. Wow. That E was good. And you baited out the Hecarim ultimate. You got really lucky. I think, without teleport, there's no reason to do that splitting you just did. Yeah, this game's over. This game's over. There's no way to recover from this. Unfortunately, you do not match up equally with the Hecarim. And the Hecarim's not the only person you need to worry about. Yeah, this game's over. This game's over. I think right there, it was a significant mistake that you were splitting bot lane. Without teleport, without vision, too dangerous. You should never, ever cross this line, right here, the river line. You should never cross it without having vision. At this point in the game, at least. At 40 minutes, every death matters. If you don't have vision like right here or right here, you shouldn't cross this. In addition to that, if you don't have vision of at least 3 people on the enemy team elsewhere, you shouldn't cross this line. It's too late in the game to be making that decision. That's game. Damn. I think that mistake was the biggest mistake you made that game. I think overall, you were definitely playing better than most people on your team. That was, I mean, for the most part, you were the shining light on that team. That mistake might have been what broke the camel's back. But overall, again, I think you did a pretty good job. The issues that I would say focusing on. From a micro perspective, farming. That's a big deal. From a macro perspective, it's knowing when you can split and when you can't. In this case, like what you should have done was set the push up, not cross the river. You should have left it at that. If you set the push up and then went to join your team, you could have been there as a cluster of 5 to deal with the Baron. Excuse me, not the Baron, the Elder. The fact that your team was split up, and that was the other thing, because you got caught out, your team rotated to try to help, and they got caught out worse than you did. You managed to get out of that. That's fine. The problem was that the rest of your team got caught up in the rotation because of what you did. Again, the game probably never would have lasted anywhere near as long without how effective you were playing that game. You had some amazing plays. But that mistake probably ended the game. Problem is that they die in the 4 seconds you use teleport. That is potentially true. Yeah, I mean, that is a definite consideration. When you teleported to the Baron the way that you did, that is a very big consideration. They might die by the time you react and teleport. There's too much damage in the game. You're right on that. That might have in fact been what allowed you guys to win that fight and get the Baron, was teleporting there first instead of walking over or splitting. I shouldn't criticize on that, but that last play, I will criticize on that because it was a mistake. Imagine if League was 10v10. No, thank you. No fucking thank you. So yeah, like, so from a micro perspective, farming. From a macro perspective, it's knowing when you can split, when you can't. And knowing when you can go and when you can't. Because there were a couple of moments, like, the two big mistakes that you made that game. One of them ended up being an amazing thing. That was when you eat forward against the Malphite when your E never had any chance to connect. And your team was backing away at that point. That was a mistake. It was a mistake that cost you your flash. However, the Tristana then did something really dumb. You got your execute and two-man fear, turned it around, and took the inhibitor. But that was a mistake. The other big mistake that you made was pushing past the river without vision. And that led to the last team fight loss. What do I think of Valorant? I think Valorant looks like an amazing game, honestly.